Hey, Kayode, how are you? Reverend Divine, hello, good to see you. Welcome. Okay. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimonies of the Lord, they are sure, they make wise the simple. Yeah, they are more to be desired than gold than the purest gold. Juliet, how are you? Juliet Nduku, how are you doing? You're welcome. Right. Yeah, this song is taken from Psalm 19. Psalm 19 from 7 to 10. Celebrating the word of God, the law of God, the precepts of God, the principles of God, the commandments of God. They are pure, they are lovely, they have such powerful, such salubrious, such salutary effect on us as we embrace them. Okay, just let me just hang in there with me for just a couple of moments, and then we will proceed. Okay. Thank you, Lord. Glory be to God. This is the day the Lord has made. We'll rejoice and we'll be glad in it. All right. Okay, one more. Okay. Right. Okay, I put that off. Okay, here we go. So I am on two platforms. So tonight, yes, I'm on two platforms. If you see me turning my gaze from one side to another, it's just to kind of connect with my Periscope audience, as well as those of you watching and listening from on your YouTube. All right. Good. Let me just okay. Okay. Adediran. Thank you for joining again. Yes, you were there last week. God bless you. Olaiko Kere, welcome. God bless. Hey, my brother Alex Babundo. How was your birthday celebration? You had fun. God bless you. Thank you for joining. Okay, today, yes, I'm glad that you guys are here and on time too. Okay, now, formally speaking, I'm Reverend Cyril Dokire, Citygate Ministries International, and this weekly rendezvous is called the Sentinel, the media arm of Citygate Ministries International. Right, in the last couple of weeks, actually 3 weeks, but we skipped a Sunday because of some commitment I had in London. So we started a series looking at the law, the law as something that binds us all together in a given social environment, like a nation, a society, a council, a city. Even if you drill it down to organizations, you talk about policies, okay? Because we are different in our likes and dislikes and quirks and eccentricities and idiosyncrasies. We are complex. We need some kind of superordinate rule, policies um, to guide our behavior towards a common superordinate agenda. If not, if I do what I like when I like it, and you do what you like when you like it, what we have is a mess, confusion, chaos. So that is why, yes, we need rules, we need laws. And so we looked at that, and of course, the importance of not just having laws, but enforcing the laws, because if it's not enforced, then well, you might as well not have laws or rules. So we started with the title, The Rule of Law. Yeah, that's how we started. The Rule of Law. And some people, you're talking about political talk, they talk about constitutionalism, if I can pronounce it well, constitutionalism. That is when a polity or let's say a people, they abide by a ground norm, a constitution which is above everyone, okay, and everyone follows the dictates, the prescriptions and prohibitions of the constitution. And of course, if we're going to be a nation or a people governed by certain rules, then the quality of those rules or that set of rules matter. If the rule is nonsensical, does not adhere to natural justice, if the rules are antithetical to natural justice or just moral, just sense, if it doesn't make sense, then it creates problem. So we started with rule of law. We got into the last week was, I think the title was the spirit of the law. Looking at the spirit of the law as opposed to the letter of the law. And of course, we look at God's law as Moses told the Israelites, his admonition before they crossed the land, crossing to the promised land. He told them in Deuteronomy chapter 1 the importance of obeying God's. Deuteronomy chapter 4, the importance of obeying God's law and all that. Let me just read this again, as a pattern short. By the way, did I say good evening? Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good day, good, whatever it is, whatever applies where you are. God be with your morning, God be with your evening, God be with your night, God be with your afternoon. Bless you. Amen. Welcome. Right. Deuteronomy 33. Let's look at verse 22. We've always looked at this. It says, "For the Lord is our judge. The Lord is our lawgiver. The Lord is our king. He will save us." Oh, yes. The Lord is our judge. Now, these three elements, I mean, this reflects the three components of government, of governance. You have the judiciary. So the Lord is our judge. The Lord is our God lawgiver. We have the legislature. I have the Lord is our king. You have the executive. And I said before in previous broadcast that these three functions, they are separated in a normal polity. That's what they call the principle of separation of powers. So that those that make the law, they are different from those that interpret the law and those that interpret are different from those that execute. And it's necessary because you do not concentrate all these powers and functions in one body or one man or woman. If you do that, you will create a monster. Okay, but in God, these functions are embodied, and they are operationalized even in God Himself, and He does so wonderfully. It then means that anyone judging, anyone in the judiciary, anyone in the executive, anyone functioning as a legislature, they are doing so in a delegated sense. They are doing so in a secondary sense. They derive their authority from God Himself, as we learn from Romans chapter 13. It says every authority, is set in place by God, and so we are encouraged to obey authorities because God put them there. It is important for the people in power and in positions, whatever that position is, at different levels, in family level, corporate level, in the marketplace, organizations, and whatever institution that is. It's important that they have their they have the understanding that ultimately they are serving God. They are vicariously functioning on behalf of God, because eventually, and every function of governance heads in to God Himself. Okay, they all dovetail into what God is doing, and in fact, it's like the functions come from God and cascade down through these agencies. Just so that we might have peace and quietness, and go about our affairs peacefully. The thing is this: any kind of system of law that creates, or how to put it, let me rephrase that. Every system of law, every jurisprudence, and every body of law should be such that liberates the righteous, give room and latitude for good people, good citizens to function. It should frustrate the evildoers, the criminals. Any law that seems to give liberty and latitude to the criminals and those who the antisocial people, then that law is not right. Let me put it mildly. That law is not right. Either the quality of the law is wrong, or the intention of the law, talking about the spirit of the law, is wrong, or that the people who operate it, they're doing something else. Okay. Good laws are made the Bible says the laws are made for the lawless. They're supposed to restrain and curb the excesses of the wrongdoers, but they should empower, liberate, free up the righteous, the good people, fair-minded people. All right. So yes, we look at the spirit of the Lord. Today we want to take it a step further, looking at the servants of the law. Okay, servants of the law. Let me read a scripture that is particularly tuned into this topic. Deuteronomy 1. Okay, Moses talking, 16 to 18. Deuteronomy, and I always read from King James Version, unless otherwise indicated. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 16 to verse 18. And I read, then Moses reporting, or talking to the children of Israel, said, then I commanded your judges at that time, saying, hear the laws hear the cases between your brethren and judge righteously between a man and his brother or the stranger who is with him. You shall not show partiality. You shall not show partiality in judgment. You shall hear the small as well as the great. You shall not be afraid in any man's presence, for the judgment is God's. The judgment is God's. Another version says that you are judging for God. The case that is too hard for you, bring to me, and I will hear it. And I command you at that time all the things which you should do. Okay, so see the point, Moses' admonition to the judges appointed over the children of Israel. Say that they shouldn't show partiality. They should not respect the presence of or the face of anybody, whether the person is rich or poor, great or small, old or young, that they should judge righteously without partiality. The lady justice usually have this blindfold, covering her eyes. That depicts that does not respect, who is a big man and who is not. The law is the law, and nobody should be above the law. Okay. So that's the Moses commandment, or Moses instruction to those that preside over the court system, the court. Those that interpret the law, judges. Okay. But they should remember that they are judging for God. That's why I said that any of the functions, they flow down from God, who only is our judge ultimately, who only is our king ultimately, who only is our lawgiver ultimately. And they should bear that in mind. The judgment is God. So that's a good scripture there. So we're talking about servants of the law. And when we say servants of the law, yes, obviously judges are there. We also talking about lawyers, of course. What can we do without lawyers? Judges, lawyers, the magistrates, adjudicators, solicitors, barristers, of course they are lawyers. Court officials, even the ushers, the police officers, the bailiffs, prison officers. Okay, they're all part of the justice system. Anybody involved in there. In fact, by extension, every one of us, so we can be seen as servants of the law, the land, in the sense that whatever you do, we follow policies. We follow like the act of the Health and Safety Act. It's everybody's responsibility to obey it and maintain it, and see that the work environment is safe for everybody. Like the information security laws, and everybody should obey it. If not, we get our fingers burnt. So, in a sense, everyone is a servant of the law. But more particularly, I'm looking at these people who work in what they call the temples of justice. Judges, magistrates, educators, lawyers, court officials, and all that. There is an expectation or saddled on them to ensure that they do what is right. Because see, if you have good laws, very sound laws, and you have great and the laws flow out of good intention, talk about the spirit of the law, the good intent. But you have people who the administrators of law, those who administer the law, if they are corrupt, if they are respecters of persons. If they are unjust, then we still have problem. So to maintain the integrity of the law, the integrity of the justice system, it's important that not only that the law is good and people follow the law, including leaders. Everybody is, follows the rule of law, go by the book. It's also important, yes, for those laws to come out of, good motive, good sense, sound morals. Thirdly, it's essential that those who are saddled with the operationalization of this law and interpretation thereof, they must be above board. The Lord is saying, he that must come to equity must come with clean hands. That reminds me when I was as a teenager, I got into a fight. I was in secondary school. During the holiday, I got into a fight. And this fight was going on and on. I refused to be placated. So the people, my parents were not around. So the people in the neighbors, they got fed up. So one of them called a police officer that they know. So this police officer came. I still remember his face. When he came in, he tried to intimidate me. He raised his hand to hit me. I said to him, listen, if you hit me, I will hit you back. I said to him, if you hit me, I will hit you back, and we need another police officer to arrest both of us. If you hit me, I will hit you back. Then another police officer will come and arrest not just me, both of us, because it will be two fighting. It was stumped back by that response. So he came back to ask them if I used to take what you call marijuana, and they said no, I don't even didn't even smoke cigarettes. But later on, anyway, he used to take me to his house and give me food and all that. We became friends, basically. But the point I was making is that you cannot come to enforce the law and then break the law in the process and expect me to obey it. No, I said no, I will not. He that must come to, or he that comes to equity must come with clean hands. You cannot break the law. Two wrongs don't make it right. You cannot break the law and expect the law. If you break the law, you've broken the law. So you're a lawbreaker, no matter the reason. Okay. There's another scripture I need to read here. You see the importance of for people who the custodians of the law and interpreters of the law, the need for them to remain impartial and to be circumspect in their dishing out judgment and sentences and determining who is guilty or not. So important, so emphasized, not just in that scripture we read. See another one here. In Proverbs 31, verse 4 and to 5, verse 4 to verse 5, it says, "It's not for kings only." Now remember, kings' function in those days also was to judge. Okay, so it's not for kings only. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes to intoxicating drink. So it's not for kings or princes to drink hot drinks, lest they drink and forget the law. Lest they drink and forget the law and pervert the justice of all the afflicted. Now, I said the other time that when kings in the Old Testament, when they were anointed, they were given a copy of God's law. And it says here that they should not drink intoxicating drinks, so that they do not forget the law. Because when they forget the law, what then follows? They will pervert justice all the afflicted. And when justice is perfected, it's the poor that gets the brunt of it. It is the widows, it's the orphans that get the brunt of it. When there is corruption, and corruption is not just stealing money, perversion of the law, not obeying court order is corruption number one, because that's the corruption. Of course, corruption comes from the Latin word corruptus, which means breakdown. Okay, when there's a breakdown in law, I would say breakdown in law and order. So if a leader is a politician, a president or prime minister or whatever designation they are known as, if they don't obey the law, they contribute majorly in the breakdown of law and order, and that is corruption, from Latin word corruptus, which means break down. So not just somebody stealing money. Yes, stealing money is part of it, but it's just a manifestation. So corruption, let's say in Nigeria now, they say fight against corruption. You cannot fight corruption by being a lawbreaker, because the act of corruption itself is law breaking. Is illegal. And so if you break the law, you create an environment where people can do all manner of corrupt practices and get away with it. They do that with impunity because the law is not magnified. The law is not, it's not exalted. The law is not given its due honor. So that says kings should not do so that they forget. And whenever that happens, as I said, is the poor, is the defenseless, is the disabled, the vulnerable people that they get the brunt of it. Because you see, when we create a situation of dog eat dog, man eat, people can cannibalize each other. We create a situation of survival of the fittest. Then who is going to survive? Is the strong, energetic. Who is going to suffer it? Is the vulnerable in the society? Is the disabled people? Is the children? Is the women? Is the elderly that going to Nigeria, my country, we are number one when it comes to out of school children. Number one. 10%, is it about that? Well, let me not quote statistics. Anyway, a very high percentage of the world's out of school children come from Nigeria. No wonder then we have the conveyor belt supply of people recruited into Boko Haram, into banditry, into kidnapping, into armed robbery. If they're not in school, what are they doing? It's the vulnerable that are when law is not upheld, the vulnerable they suffer. Now that scripture, Deuteronomy 24:17 says, "You shall not pervert justice due to the stranger." Oh, I'm so finished. You shall not pervert justice due the stranger or fatherless, nor take a widow's garment as a pledge. But you shall remember that you were a slave in Egypt, and the Lord your God redeemed you from there. Therefore, I command you to do these things. Now that scripture, I read that one already. So basically, there's a divine admonition to those who handle the law to be careful. Lawyers, you too, be careful. Okay. Again, many times in the Bible, we see God denouncing corrupt judges for their various ungodly practices. Now, if God feels that way then, or if God felt that way then, he feels so now. His heart grieves and bleeds over injustice in the temple, so-called temple of justice. Scripture here. It says, "You have nothing." Oh, no, that's I used that scripture last week or the other week. But I want to see it in Good News Bible, Psalm 94, verse 20 to 22. 20. It says, you have nothing to do with corrupt judges. Very plain. Dayo, welcome. God bless you. Dayo, this says, you have nothing to do with corrupt judges who make injustice legal. Look at that. They make injustice, corrupt justice, they make injustice legal. They legitimize injustice. Say God has nothing. He does not align his throne to injustice. Who plot against good people and sentence the innocent to death. I said that when there is perfection of justice, it suffocates the righteous. It hamstrings good people, and it liberates the corrupt. You know the case, the latest case in Nigeria where the kingpin in Taraba State. Hello, my friend Dayo, how are you? What happened in Taraba State recently, where a notorious billionaire kidnapping kingpin, as they call him, was arrested in the night by an elite police team from attached to the IG. They came to Abuja, arrested this guy, handcuffed him, hands and feet, took him along. Somewhere, soldiers who mounted roadblocks got the information and shot the police officers. Shot 3 of them, I think one escaped, and released this man. Investigation is still going on, but what we're hearing is not good. What we're hearing, of course, I mean, who doesn't know? Any decided person knows that there are saboteurs, there are fifth columnists in the system. No wonder the insurgency, fight against insurgency has lasted this long. Because there are people, evil people in the army, in the police, in politics, who are benefiting from, in government, who are benefiting from this sordid situation. They kill these officers and liberate the kidnapper. And apparently, a lot of them are in the payroll of the kidnapper. When there's just injustice in the land, when the laws are not respected, we empower and free the criminals and hamstring and asphyxiate the righteous. Okay, so God denounced unrighteous judges and lawyers, and so on and so forth. Woe to those who make unjust laws, to those who issue oppressive decrees, Isaiah 10:1. Woe to those who make unjust laws, both lawmakers and those who execute those laws. To those who issue oppressive decrees. Jesus had issues with the Pharisees, the scribes, the Sadducees. These were the custodians of the law of the land. And those are the people that Jesus had great issues with. Thank you, Reverend Divine. Yes, very true. Thank you. Those that, yes. Oh, yes. Now, Paul has something to say about this. In Romans chapter 2, I read verses 1 to 3 first, and then say, okay, I start. It says, therefore, you are inexcusable, O man, whoever you are, who judge. For in whatever you judge another, you condemn yourself. For you who judge, practice the same things. But we know that the judgment of God is according to truth. I love that. Against those who practice such things. God's judgment is according to truth, not according to partiality, not according to who bring in dollars or pounds or whatever. God's judgment is according to truth against those who practice such things. And do you think this, oh man, you who judge those practicing such things and doing the same, that you will escape the judgment of God. In other words, you stand there and say, I'm a learned judge. You know, call them learned judge, learned lawyers, and you judge and interpret the law and argue this to cause the criminal to go free and get the money, of course. It's not for free, of course. Yeah. You learned people, you know the law. And you know what people should do and should not do. You see, and you condemn, yes, you condemn those who do those things, but you do the same. Say, do you think that you will escape the judgment of God? Because the judgment of God is according to truth. We all give account. Verse 17 says, indeed, you are called a Jew. That's the context. And rest on the law. Yes, you know about the law. The law, you were given the law to as a custodian. Talking about Jewish people. And you make your boast in God. Yes, you know the laws of God, and could recite it, and could quote it, and could stone people when they don't keep to it. When they violate it, to stone them. Yeah? Because remember that woman that they brought, that she committed adultery, and they caught her in the very act. They caught her in the very act. Not one person. The judgment of God is according to the truth. You caught her in the very act, and you brought only one person. Because Jesus saw through their hypocrisy. I will know the story in John chapter 8. Yeah, it says you know, and it says, and you make your boast in God and know his will and approve the things that are excellent. Yes, being instructed, you are instructed out of the law. You are a learned friend, erudite in the law, and you are confident that you yourself are a guide to the blind. Yes, you educate other people. You see, I said last week that if laws don't make sense to the ordinary intelligent person, or when I say intelligent, you don't have to have a degree to understand the law. If the law does not make sense to a market woman, then that law, I wonder who you're making it for. If we are all supposed to obey the law, educated or not, rich or poor, then we should understand what it's saying. Okay, I know that there are technicalities to law, but then if it should be able to interpret it and let people know the brass tacks. I mean, yeah, when people let people know the basics. Yeah. Okay. A guide to the blind, a light to those who are in darkness, an instructor of the foolish, a teacher of babes, having the form of knowledge and truth in law. Yes, you have it. You, therefore, who teach another, do you not teach yourself? You who preach that a man should not steal, do you steal? You who say do not commit adultery, do you commit adultery? You who abhor idols, do you rob temples? You who make your boast in the law, do you dishonor God through breaking the law? These are very powerful. It's like we punch questions they're asking here. Let me hold you. Another thing that can make law useless is when you have inconsistent penal system. Yeah, the penal system, if it's in some, like again, we see that in some countries where the law punishes the poor severely but is lenient to the rich and privileged, if not letting them go scot-free. I remember Tafa Balogun, the former Inspector General of Nigerian Police. He was found guilty of misappropriating billions of naira. Yeah, billions of naira meant for equipping the police, and also involved in bribery. He was found guilty, convicted. He was jailed for 6 months, I think, if I remember clearly. 6 months for stealing billions of naira. More recently, there was a man that was a few years ago. I think during the Osho State, the immediate past governor for Osun State, Rauf Aregbesola, yeah. I think during his first term in office, what happened was that a man pickpocketed him. I don't know how that happened with all these orderlies. A man, stole his mobile phone, and the man was caught and was given 41 years imprisonment. I think it was. That was what was said. I don't know what they cut it down to, but 41 years pronounced upon this man for stealing the governor's mobile phone. How dare he? Around the same time, a former director or deputy director of pension funds stole the agency's money that amounted to billions. He was asked to pay a fine of how much again? Not up to $1 million, not up to $1 million naira. Around the same time, someone stole billions and was asked to pay how many 100,000 naira. But a poorer man that had the audacity, how dare he? He stole the governor's mobile phone and was given 41 years imprisonment in the same jurisdiction. That's madness. See, when we have such mad differentials, crazy differentials in the Pastor Dr. Samuel Moye, thank you for joining. Thank you. When we have such differentials in the way we apportion punishment, the rich, they get away with just silly fines, and the poor is severely punished, then we do injustice. We like violating the law. It's like promoting criminality. So everybody then would like to attach himself to the rich or steal money so that you can be among those people that benefit from the laxity of the law. It is wrong. It is wrong. In fact, the more is it Jesus that said, to him more is given. Yes, he said that. To him more is given. To that person more is required. I believe that the law should be such that those that have the power, the powerful and the mighty, who have the power to they are the ones that they enforce the law. They are the ones that make the law. They are the ones that the people who have the power to enforce it, to make it, to interpret it. When they break the law, they should pay a higher price. They should be punished more. If a policeman abuses his power, or a soldier, like in the case of Taraba State, they use their power. Yeah, they are given the right to carry arms on our behalf, and they use it against us or against another institution. They should be punished more severely, because the punishment should reflect the level of responsibility and privileges they have. That way, then we know that we begin to take ourselves serious. But when we have a situation where the powerful, they get away with murder, literally murder, and get away with it and smile, and meanwhile you can arrest somebody from at the bus stop for loitering and keep them in prison for years untried, awaiting trial for years. Then what is that? So the penal system had to be distributed in such a way that, the penalty should be distributed in such a way that it reflects the commensurate. It should be commensurate to the level of authority and privilege that people enjoy in a given polity or geopolity. I remember one time I was discussing, in fact, two Muslim friends of mine at different times. I was speaking to them about, they were telling me about the virtues of Sharia, where they wanted Sharia to be installed, in UK and other places. Yes, the rule of Allah and all that. So I asked them a question. These are just two individual occasions, different occasions to these two individuals. I asked them. I said, okay, have you? Hey, Reverend Divine, he said, Luke 12:48. What does it say? I have to look for it. Hold on. I have to look for it. Like, thank you very much. Let me look for that. Luke 12. I have to look for it. New King James Version, my version, yes. 48. Let's see that. Let's see that. Yes. But that this is apt. But he who did not know. Okay, let me start from 47. And that servant who knew his master's will and did not prepare himself or do according to his will shall be beaten with many stripes. But he who did not know, yet committed the things deserving stripes, shall be beaten with few. For everyone to whom much is given, from him much will be required, yes. And to whom much has been committed, of him they will ask the more. Thank you, Reverend Divine. That is appropriate. That is germane to what we're talking about. Yes, that's it. I mean, that's all right. I don't need to amplify that. That pushes just, yes, right on target. Yeah, I was telling my friends, I said to them, okay, is there anywhere, any country in the world, or any example, whether in the past or in the present, where the Sharia law, the harsh Sharia law, like cutting people's hand, stoning people for adultery or for what, where big men, powerful men, political leaders have been punished according to those requirements, those prescriptions in Sharia. For example, is there anywhere, either historically or otherwise, where a big man, rich person, or political leader, whose that his hand have been cut for embezzling, for stealing, or where he's been stoned for committing adultery or whatever? They said to both of them said to me, no, that they don't know of any case. They have never read it. I said, have you read it anywhere? They've never read it anywhere. One of them said to me, I said, then I have a problem. One of them said to me, well, that the poor, yes, the poor, they are ordinarily called, but that the rich will not escape judgment of Allah. I said to them, well, I have a problem with that. Why not allow all of us to appear before Allah then so that He will judge and apportion punishment as He sees fit, rather than a man, coming to, implement just very harsh penalties on the poor. Meanwhile, he's not innocent. He does the same thing, and he punishes the poor because they, I said, I have a problem with that. So then one of them told me about the story that happened in the time of Prophet Muhammad, where a pregnant woman who committed the woman committed adultery and was pregnant as a result, and then came to confess to the prophet, and the prophet said, okay, you know what the law says? The woman was ready to submit herself to the punishment, which means stoning her to death. But the prophet said, well, the child should not be punished along with the mother. Go and give birth to the child, wean the child, and then come. And the woman went, when the child was weaned, the baby was weaned, she came and she was stoned to death. And I said, okay, right, okay. So, that does not answer my question. I said, has there been a time when a rich man, a powerful man, have been stoned to death or has the arm or the hand or the leg cut off? The answer is no. So then I said, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with when somebody takes the peace of God and to dish out harsh punishment that's not evenly distributed. They're not distributed according to in a way that's commensurate with the privileges and the power that people enjoy. I have issues with that. Anyway, I think I've really landed. So in summary, it's not just that the law, yes, we should all follow, operate, go by the rule of law. Yes, everybody, nobody should be above the law. Presidents are not above the law, they shouldn't. To this law, the laws have to make sense. They have to make sense, and they need to conform, align with the basic sense of morality. Okay, the law should align with the basic sense of morality. That any decent person will see it as it makes sense. 3, not just the letter, because we can get into technicalities. Not everybody is educated enough or sophisticated enough to know the technicalities of the law. But we should think in terms of the spirit of the law. What's this law meant to achieve? What kind of society is meant to create for all of us? And that's the spirit of the law. The laws must align with God's law. It must come close with God, the law of God. Incidentally, that the Western civilization, the issue from Judeo-Christian tradition is not accidental. It's not coincidental. The law of God will produce a healthy environment. Okay, but when we start departing from the law of God and allowing all sorts to have their way, then we begin to witness a degradation and erosion that we see in the social fabric of our lands. Okay, and then lastly, we say that those who operate the law, either as judges or lawyers, as court officials, as bailiffs, as police officers, generally speaking, those within the criminal justice system or within the justice system, those who work and operate within the justice system should do so knowing that they represent God in what they're doing. Okay, and they have God to account to. All right, I leave it there. Thank you very much for joining me. Moji Obasa, how are you? You came in right at the end of it, but thank you for joining anyway. God bless you, Moji. Reverend Divine, thank you very much. You've been great. Thank you. Pastor Samuel Boye, God bless you. Thank you very much. Yes, for joining me again. Dayo, well done. Thank you. Good to see you. Was it yesterday? Yes. My regards to the family. Olaiko Kiri, yeah, we're here together. Adebayo Adediro, God bless you. Thank you very much. Kayode, yes, Kayode, I'll talk to you. Very good. Juliet Nduku, God bless you too. Thank you very much. Greet my people. Yeah, God bless. Au revoir. Bye-bye. See you next week. Please feel free to share. Feel free to... Yes, God bless you, Reverend Divine. Bye-bye. I remember Reverend Cyril Okere. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Reverend Divine. You always been, you have always Yeah, you always be very inspiring to me. Yes, God bless you. God bless you. Bye bye. Have a great week ahead. Au revoir.